Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Touch the Poet, and my man, Sun Soul Lex in the house.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we back talking about Is It Just Weed? This is part 2 on this. So far, we've been talking specifically about Sha'Carri Richardson. So to your point of what you were just saying, but before I jump into that, you know how to find us: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, like, subscribe, share, Patreon. What am I forgetting, Sun Soul Legs?
You guys can reach us at KINGANDEYE 369 at gmail.com. Again, that's King and I 369 at gmail.com. And the other one we are forgetting right now is Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Yep. I want to say. But anyway, carry on, sir.
So what was I going to say?
You're going to give me a rebuttal on.
Was I going to give you a rebuttal?
Yep. About, her setting what could be an all-time record. But
no, I wasn't going to give you a rebuttal on that.
Okay.
Oh man, what was I going to say? I had it in my head. But anyway, I know what I was going to say. I got it. You said right. Cocky. I will say, when you get that high, you have every goddamn right to be cocky. You have every right to be cocky. Because you've pretty much made it to the top. Track and field does not get its proper shine.
No, it doesn't.
Unless you are a real track and field head, the only time you really look for track and field is during the Olympics, or if you flipping channels on a Saturday afternoon or Wednesday or Thursday during, the season, and it happens to be on there and you're a track and field fan and you just start watching. So you have to keep in mind that there's the Pan Am games, there's the American games, there's the, Asian games, there's European, there's games all over the world throughout the year. So, world records can be set and broken, tied at any time during the year. U.S. records can be set, broken, and tied any time of the year. So you have to keep that in mind. So I don't take it as cocky. And for those people who say, oh, she's just cocky, she deserved that, go kick rocks because you're miserable. I will say that in support of any track and field athlete because I have a lot of favorites out there. I'm mad Usain Bolt is not running anymore. I'm mad that his last race, one of his last races ended in him not finishing. I'm mad Tyson Gay ain't running no more. I mean, even though he's of that age. It's look, if you're a track and field head, you're a track and field head. And you look for these records to be broken. So when Sha'Carri came up hot for weed, I was almost devastated. Because you have one of the Jamaican phenoms, Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, which I was looking forward to that race. So yeah, I was devastated on that. So let's jump into and this still falls into it. The war on drugs.
Right.
And why I wanted to discuss that aspect of it, because for the longest time, us as a people, we have this gripe, this whine, this bitch, this argument about how the government / white man put drugs in our communities. Be that as it may, and the pro-black or whatever you want to call them, the woke people or the fake woke people or just whoever, people with common sense or whatever the case may be. Oh yeah, they did this to bring us down, blah 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 blah. Why are we still allowing these substances to negatively impact our lives? And I'm speaking of those who do it by choice, not those who are addicted. I mean, because we can go so many different ways with this conversation, but I'm talking about the ones who do this by choice. They know better. And then when they run into some negative consequences, it's never their fault.
Wow. Hell of a question. I'll say people do what they do, again, like you said, by choice. But when it's almost like a moth to flames. You know what I mean? Like the moth know that this flame is going to burn it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It might swoop in every now and then, get real close, and then back off. But eventually, it knows I have to get closer. And when it gets to that point where it just gets too dang close, it gets burnt.
Mm.
So it knows the consequences of, its actions, but for some reason it feels compelled to go there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I can't imagine or place myself in someone's shoes who actually, uses narcotics. Me, I don't deal with narcotics, period. I hate taking goddamn aspirin.
I know that's right.
But I don't know. I mean, the effects of it, as far as like helping dealing with anxiety and stress and, all the good things that come with it. I guess they feel like they need that. So they're willing to, forego their better judgment and place themselves in a position that, it's not going to be a good outcome for them. So it's kind of like you refuse to use your higher self. You refuse to use your better judgment to get you through, whatever it is that you find yourself consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not, pointing the finger at anyone or trying to, make anyone feel bad, because we all have our own, faults, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, for example, I know that, in the type of industry that I'm in, all it takes is one, effed up move, and right off the rip, I'm going to get drug tested.
Right.
That's just our company policy, Even if you're not even at fault, you're still going to get tested.
Right.
So for me, knowing everything that I have on the line, I just refuse to partake in anything that's going to, take those things away from me. I just don't need that kind of a headache.
Right. And I can agree with you on that. And, to your point, this is another reason why I have a problem with this whole, the war on drug things from both aspects. If the government put these in our communities for a specific reason, and that reason is to tear us down, break us down, tear us apart, keep us from elevating. And we know this. We've known this for long enough time, and we refuse to get from up under that and still blaming, this, that, and the other. Another part of that problem is a lot of these people know, like I said, they know better. But you still want to play Russian roulette and roll the dice with your livelihood and all this, that, and the other. Like you, I look, if the damn, I've had surgery and the damn doctor prescribed me, I can't remember what it was, whatever narcotic it was, but I had pain. I took 2 pills as the instructions on the bottle said. And after them 2 pills, I was like, I don't want that no more. Cause for me, it's just like, I'm not, I don't want that cloud in my mind. I just don't want that in my system, this, that, and the other. So outside of that, as far as, narcotics and all that other stuff goes, yeah, it's legal in a lot of places. But I work in a government building with a top secret clearance. I've been active duty Air National Guard, Army National Guard for the better part of 26 years. So although it's legal, I can't take that stuff. Not that I want to take that stuff, but I know what's at stake if I do take that stuff. A lot of people use this, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And I think, or I heard, this will mellow me out. This will make me feel better. Oh, let me go try this. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go lay my ass down somewhere. Go take a walk somewhere. Listen to some music. Ride a bike. Go talk to somebody if I can. Go eat. Go take a drive. There are so many options out there that people refuse to exercise, yet people are still talking about, well, there aren't any resources for this, that, and the other. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for the last 10, 15 years, people have been talking about other options other than drugs. They plaster it in these annoying ass commercials. So if I see these annoying ass commercials that say, don't do drugs, talk to this person, call this number, go read a book, go do this, a lot of these things are the alternatives are free. And the other problem that I have is that our society as a whole, every nationality, every background, whatever the case may be, everybody has these free resources at the touch of their hands. There are people out there who have strong family backgrounds that can lean on their family. They choose not to. I understand peer pressure. I understand all these other aspects in life, but why are we normalizing drug use?
The thing about it is this, right? Back in the day, they knew, the effects of cannabis and marijuana and the healing effects. But back then, they couldn't make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they found a way to make it profitable for them, everything's good, everything's gravy, as they say. But, like you're saying, it's kind of like a damn mousetrap, right? You've seen them put the damn cheese out for who knows how many damn years now.
Right.
And you still keep running to the goddamn cheese, knowing that the damn trap is going to break your damn neck.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think it comes down to, accountability for each individual. And again, I know not everyone, is strong mentally. But we're talking about the ones who are mentally, battlefield ready, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But they still choose to partake in it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them just do it out of boredom, out of tradition, out of, my homeboy, my homegirl got me started on it. And, I liked it. So that's why I kept on. Like, man, get out of here with that, son.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many more things you could be dedicating your money to. And that's the way I be looking at it. Like, I can't afford to get high.
Oh, man.
Man, Niji. Oh, Niji, sorry. Niji, I cannot afford to get high, man. I just can't.
I got stuff I want to buy.
Yeah.
That's going to last me a long time.
Okay, there's so many other things I can put my money towards, that will bring me just as much damn satisfaction in the long run than, hitting a blunt or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But again, not picking on anyone. Do
not at all. Not at all.
It's your life. You gotta live the best way you know how. So, no judgment. Just for some of the people, that place themselves in these ridiculous situations, those are the people we're trying to reach.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, go ahead, finish.
I was just saying, it just, in some regards, it don't make any sense, man, because especially if you're a responsible person, if you got kids or a wife or, if you got a husband and kids, whatever the case may be, like some shit's just not worth it to me, man.
No, it's not.
I'd rather take that money and invest it in something that's going to help me retire early. So then once I retire, I can smoke to, Kingdom Come if I want to.
Exactly.
But again, I digress.
Yeah. The one thing I do want to say is we're not pro-drug or anti-drug. It's just not our cup of tea. We have other things that we prefer to focus on. So let's jump into public opinion when it comes to this. A lot of people say it's just weed. For some people, it might be just weed. But the one thing that I do want to throw out there is science says the human mind does not fully develop until the age of 25. Why I bring that up is we have 21-year-old Sha'Carri Richardson. Yes, she's of legal age, but her mind is not fully developed. But she's intelligent enough to make the choices that she wants to make. So,
correct.
Excluding her, we have younger people who are younger than 21. And I'm talking about those who are in, hell, these days, elementary school all the way up to high school. So when people say it's just weed, this is the shit that really grinds my goddamn gears. Mm-hmm. Because it's not just weed to an elementary school student. It's not just weed to a middle school student. It's not just weed to a high school student. It's not just weed to someone who needs to start living their adult life out of their parents' house or whatever the case may be. It's not just weed. It's easy to look at sports and say, oh, it's just weed. It shouldn't this, it shouldn't that. But I will bring out some other points on that when we talk about performance enhancer. But let's just say your elementary school student, your middle school student, or your high school student gets suspended or expelled for smoking weed. is your response going to be, it's just weed? And, I pose that out there to the pro weed people who say, oh, it's just weed. It came from the earth. Are you okay if your child gets suspended or expelled from school and for smoking weed and you say it's just weed?
Yeah. I mean, confronted with a situation like that, it's just weed is not going to cut it.
Not at all.
Oh, I'll give you a quick story, man, about just weed. There's a female that I know of. She loves weed. I don't know if it's so much now, but back then she loved weed to the point that she claimed it was the only thing that helped her go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So one particular night, in the middle of the damn night now, she gets her 2 kids up and make her kids go with her into the streets to find just weed.
Oh, wow.
So she found it, and of course started blazing.
With the kids in the car?
With the kids.
Oh, God.
And her significant other, once he found her, my boy was off the chain with it. Needless to say, you can't stop a grown person from doing whatever it is they want to do.
True.
But the consideration for the kids is it can't be that damn serious. Well, you'll get these kids up in the middle of the night to go, to very dark alleys or whatever you want to call it to find some damn weed.
Just weed.
It's just weed. Like, it can never be that serious, man. Never be that serious. Worst case scenario, it could have waited till the next morning. You could have called your significant other, had them to go get it or something. But taking your 2 young kids out in the streets where, a lot of unsavory characters are out there, and who knows, they could have hit your ass in the head and took your kids or did anything to all 3 of y'all. That's just some craziness to me.
Yeah.
But it's just weed.
Yeah. Yeah, that blows my mind. Because why drag your kids into that?
Yep.
I mean,
they see that, man. So they, they're influenced by that. By you being their parent, they think that shit is cool. Well, my mom does it. Well, my dad does it.
The thing about that, you kind of put your kids in danger. You might know the person that you are buying your weed from or whatever the case may be, but they just about a few dollars. Oh, they about that dollar. They don't give a damn about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, you smoking that in front of your kids. Now your kids secondhand smoke. They get high, and that messes with their brains. And what? It's not just weed, man. Come on, man. That just, yeah. I mean, that it just weed thing. It just, yeah. That just,
yeah.
But weed's legal in a lot of states.
It is.
So what? I mean, I'm happy for those who are happy that it is. It doesn't move me either way. But what I will say, regardless of if it's legal in, I think they said 20 states or whatever the case may be,
mm-hmm.
It's not authorized any and everywhere that you go. I don't know if you watch Marcellus Wiley and Echo on YouTube, but I watched them earlier today, and they made a good point about weed, and for the people who say it's just weed, yes, Sha'Carri smoked weed, ran her race, whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. But what about that person that's throwing the javelin? You know, the big spear. What about the person that's throwing the discus? What about the person that's swinging the hammer around for the hammer throw? What about the person who's doing the pole vault? You know, where they can severely injure themselves or someone else under the influence of just weed. What about your Uber driver or the bus driver or the train operator or the pilot on the plane? Let's just say they're taking off in California where weed is legal and flying to Colorado where weed is legal. Are you okay with them being under the influence of weed? I mean, but they do say don't operate certain things under, you know, the influence of whatever the case may be. But just like a lot of people, their mentality could be it's just weed.
I would probably not catch those damn flights if I knew. Catch that flight, catch that bus, whatever the case may goddamn be. I'm just not with that when someone's under, you know, the influence, when they're not in their proper mind space. Because you really are putting my life in damn danger at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's just say you flying this plane and something go wrong on that mug. You know what I'm saying? Like,
regardless of the technology on the plane, regardless of all of that.
And I'm like, and you up here, man, it's all right. It's good. I got it. What? No, it's not all right. It's not good. This motherfucker's going down, man.
Nah, G, the automatic pilot got it. I smoked it. I smoked it like 7 o'clock in the morning. The flight ain't take off till like 10:30, 11. Fuck out of here.
Dude, no, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. And the crazy part about it is, you know, if you smoke that, it stays in your system 30 days now. You know, it just don't wash out, as they say.
It ain't like cocaine and all that other shit.
And if you got some of that real sticky, icky, man, it could come back and haunt you a little bit.
Talking about that shit. You talking about that shit that you can smell inside of a concrete block.
Yeah, man, that right there. That stuff to make you feel like you're on a whole nother planet, a whole nother realm or some shit. But no, I'm not good with that. Nope. Wait until your ass is off work. Period. No, I'm not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But it's not a performance enhancer. So what do you say about that?
Ha! Yes. Glad you brought that part up. But you're gonna have to hit that when we come back. Cause
bet that up now.
Time for a break. It's the King and I Life podcast. We talking about, is it just weed? Yes, we started off talking about Sha'Carri Richardson, but it's bigger than her.
It is.
It's your man, Soul Toucher the Poet, with my man, Sun Soul X.
Yes, sir.
Again, you know where to find us: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Like, subscribe, share.
Twitter.
We'll be there.
Of course, hit us up on that email, man.
Yes.
You already know what it is.